What's up, NFL fans? I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and don't forget to check out and purchase your copy of our latest football game plan book, Stiff Arming Football Myths. We have these available in both PDF and paperback form.
For the Vikings in this ball game, Teddy Bridgewater has to protect the football. He's been getting sloppy with the football as of late. 1 touchdown, 5 interceptions, and he has to do a better job of not hurting his offense by turning the ball over. And the third down defense will be key this week versus Tampa Bay. They have pieces on the outside and on the inside to be successful offensively, and if the Vikings can't get off the field, it's going to be a long day. And they have to start executing a lot better in the red zone. They can move the football well 20-20, but once they get inside the 20, they're settling for threes, and they have to put sevens on the board, especially against a Bucs offense that can put points up in a hurry. And for Tampa Bay in this ball game, defensively, the second and third level, they have to do a better job of communicating. That's what's causing these big plays deep down the field in the passing game. That's what's causing busts in run support. The second and third level are not communicating, and that has to improve this week versus Minnesota. And I would also move the pocket for Mike Glennon. He's a guy that can throw well on the move, and right now that offensive line, especially on the interior, is having some issues in pass protection, and you want to take Teddy Bridgewater's keys away from him. And what I'm talking about when I mentioned that, I'm looking at a guy that passed the football before he throws it. That tips off the defensive backs, which should allow them a better jump on a football to come away with an interception.
The Minnesota Vikings have to be able to generate chunk plays in the passing game this week, and I'm going to show you how they can do so. Simple route combination that gives Teddy Bridgewater 2 outside choices with a chance to hit a big play down the middle of the field with Cordero Patterson in the outlets with the backs. I'm going to show you what we're talking about here. We're going to put Cordero Patterson right there in the slot because he has that speed that people have to respect. Let's put the hash marks here, and what we want to do is get him working down the hash to try to influence the safety. So he's going to push up full speed off the line of scrimmage. He's going to read the safety. If they're playing zone, he's going to cut across the field here. If they're playing man, he's going to keep going down the middle of the field, try to get that one-on-one opportunity. So he's going to try to clear out space. That's your big play. That's your chunk play waiting to happen. Now what you want to do to protect yourself in case you can't block up front, 12-yard comebacks on the outside. With also inside coverage taking away the linebackers, you're going to have your tight end or your inside receiver tight to the line of scrimmage, reading man if it's man or zone. If it's man, he's going to keep going. If it's zone, he's going to settle down right in front of the center. Boom, easy pop pass right there for Teddy Bridgewater. Back also releases out in the flat. So again, if it's man, you're going to have one of these two guys open, or you're going to go outside as your outlet or your release valves, and you also have your chunk play deep down the middle of the field. But this is a simple concept where you're going to take advantage of the defense, trying to influence the safeties and keep those guys out of the play. Because again, this week the Vikings have to be able to hit big plays in the passing game, get those chunk plays going, get that young quarterback some confidence, throwing the football deep down the middle of the field, and I think they can have some success this week. This week versus the Minnesota Vikings, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can utilize their size to help out their speed. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here. You see what we have drawn up? Spread set, one back formation. We're going to put Vincent Jackson in the slot, also put Mike Evans in the slot. We're going to put Robert Herron, the guy with the speed, on the outside, and Austin Seferian-Jenkins, the tight end, on the outside as well, trying to dictate coverage. And what we're trying to run is trying to get a situation where we're going to put Herron on this nickel back and utilize his speed to try to hit a big play deep down the field. And the reason why we can do this is because size tends to dictate where safeties want to help out. And so that's why we have 3 big guys on the field with the safeties tilted toward wherever these guys are gonna go. And what we're gonna do with Mike Evans, we're gonna run a split route, which means he's gonna split the safety and the hash marks, which are right here. So he's gonna go across the field trying to decide where he wants to go, either up or across his face. What we're doing with Vincent Jackson and Austin Seferian-Jenkins, we're gonna stem him up, and he's running a comeback, safety valve type route, and he's running the wheel. So now the safety has a huge bind. Either he's gonna ride this wheel route by Vincent Jackson down the sideline, or he's going to sit on this comeback route by Austin Seferian-Jenkins, and the cornerback will then take over top the wheel route. Now what we're doing with Robert Herron, you see where we've taken both free safety, the free safety and the strong safety out of the play. We're probably going to pull this cornerback out of the play as well as this cornerback going on the wheel. So that's why we're going to run up and down the sideline. Robert Herron runs a 4.38 in the 40-yard dash. Should be easy for Mike Glennon to find a big opportunity, and that's why we put him tight to Mike Evans, because we want the sideline, give him room to where he can make a move and get outside quickly, and there's your big play opportunity down the sideline. So you see where your size can help out your speed. And if they're able to do something like this week versus Minnesota, he can generate a big play offensively.
The Vikings have to start taking care of the little things. For example, let's look at all three linebackers on this play versus the Detroit Lions. A simple inside zone, a split zone play. They played the run exceptionally well. They were gap sound. They flowed well to the football, but they all ended up missing the tackle. So let's run it. You're going to see this was almost textbook. The defensive line did a great job in maintaining the line of scrimmage. Backers had free flow to the football, and all three guys still missed the play. This should have been a 2-yard gain. Again, you're facing a running back in Doug Martin and also Bobby Rainey. They can pop one for a long gain just like Detroit can, so you can't miss these opportunities at the point of attack this week versus the Bucs. I talked about it on the whiteboard, but I love the fact that the Bucs can spread the field in an ace formation as 2 tight ends and 2 wide receivers, and it's all about spacing and expanding a defense and trying to force one-on-one coverage right here on the outside and make it a numbers game on the inside. It's a simple check with me system for the quarterback. If the numbers favor the box, then you run the football. If there's one safety back deep, then you throw the football. You check to a pass play to make it a 2-on-1 situation to put that safety in the bind. He can't get over top of any of these routes quick enough because you also have 2 tight ends running down the hash. So you look at this play versus New Orleans, they did exactly that. It put the safety in the bind. He had to stay deep down the middle, and they went to the outside to Vincent Jackson for a big gain. And the flip side of it is also easier for the offensive line to diagnose blitzes and stunts coming from that defense. And you see right there, well protected, time to throw, makes a big play in the passing game. The biggest X factor for the Vikings this week will be their offensive line. Their pass protection has to improve. You have to give Teddy Bridgewater time back there to find those targets down the field. And right now, the Bucs can't get to the quarterback from the outside, but this can't be the week that they get it together, so that pass protection on the edges has to improve. And for Tampa Bay, it's going to be those 2 tight end sets, those 2 tight ends that they have at their disposal, rookie Austin Seferian-Jenkins and Brandon Myers. I think both guys are excellent targets, excellent receiving targets, but do enough in the running game to where they can be successful on both ends of offense. I think they have a huge opportunity this week versus that second level and those safeties of the Vikings to have big plays down the field in the passing game. I like Minnesota to win this matchup versus Tampa Bay. The Vikings are not that far off. They're close. They just have to put points on the board in the red zone. And right now, with the way the Bucs are playing defense, especially once they get inside the 20, I think this will be the week the Vikings get it together offensively and put up 7s instead of 3s. So I like Minnesota to go on the road and knock off Tampa Bay.
What's up, fantasy football fans? I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. For all of your starts, sits, fantasy football notes, news, and tidbits, tune into our podcast, Football Game Plan Starting Lineup, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on our Football Game Plan Radio Network, which is located at blogtalkradio.com/footballgameplan.
And don't forget to check out Football Game Plan's NFL Wraparound live every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time at blogtalkradio.com/footballgameplan, where we give you all of our late-minute and last-minute notes, news, and tidbits and thoughts on each and every game on the NFL schedule. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Viking fan forums and Buck fan forums for always showing Football Game Plan support.